What if you could turn a classic American road trip into a stock market experiment? This summer, I'm driving my 22-year-old daughter, who just finished her junior year at the University of Cincinnati, down to Florida to start her Disney College program at Walt Disney World. As a dad and an investor, I wanted to make this trip memorable, not just for the miles, but for the money lessons along the way. Here's my twist. As we drive south, every time we pass through a major city, I'll invest $1,000 in a publicly traded company headquartered right there. We won't be stopping in every city, but we'll use each as a springboard for learning about business, investing, and what makes each place tick. By the end, we'll have a road trip portfolio that's as diverse as America itself. And maybe, just maybe, you'll pick up a few investing habits before your first day at Disney. We're pulling out of the driveway in Cincinnati, Ohio. I look over and say, "Ready for one last adventure before you trade the Queen City for Cinderella's castle?" She grins and says, "Definitely. I can't believe I'm finally doing the Disney College program. And I'm curious to see what this investing road trip of yours is all about." I tell her, "You'll see. Think of it as a crash course in real-world finance, part road trip, part portfolio building." She laughs. "I'm game. I mean, I've taken business electives, but I want to see how this stuff actually works." Our journey starts in Cincinnati. This city is more than just the home of chili on spaghetti. It's a business powerhouse. Cincinnati has given birth to some of America's most enduring brands. First up, Kroger. You probably know this one better than I do, since you live next to a Kroger on campus. She nods. "Yeah, I've spent way too much of my college budget there. It's wild how many brands they own too." I explain, "Exactly. Kroger is America's largest supermarket chain, with more than 2,700 stores and nearly 500,000 employees. As of May 30th, 2025, Kroger trades at $57.90 a share, with a dividend yield of 2.3% and a market cap around $41 billion. Here's a refresher. A dividend is a portion of a company's profits paid to shareholders, usually every quarter. It's like getting a bonus just for holding the stock." She says, "So, I'd actually get paid to own shares? Not just hope the price goes up?" "Exactly," I reply. "And Kroger's been paying dividends for decades. They're also recession-resistant. People always need groceries, even in tough times." Next, we have Procter Gamble. P&G is the ultimate blue-chip stock. It's the company behind brands like Tide, Pampers, Gillette, Crest, and so many more. I say, fun fact, P&G was founded in Cincinnati in 1837 by a candle maker and a soap maker. Now, it's a global giant. She says, "I actually did a case study on them in one of my classes. Their brand portfolio is insane." I nod, "Exactly." As of May 30th, 2025, P&G trades at $163.45 with a 2.4% dividend yield and a $385 billion market cap. Market capitalization, or market cap, is the total value of all a company's shares. It's one way to measure how big a company is. P&G has raised their dividend for over 60 years straight. That's called being a dividend king. She says, "That's impressive. It's like they've weathered every economic storm." I say, "That's the power of strong brands and global reach." So our first $2,000 is split between Kroger and Procter Gamble, two titans of Cincinnati. As we drive past the Cincinnati skyline, I talk about how these companies have shaped not just the local economy, but American life. Investing isn't just numbers on a screen. It's ownership in the businesses that touch our daily lives. As we continue south, we drive through Lexington, Kentucky. Lexington is famous for horses and bourbon, but it's also home to Valvoline. I say, next up, Valvoline. You see their oil change shops everywhere. They've been around since 1866, older than light bulbs. She says, I think I've actually used their quick lube place. So, what makes them a good investment? I answer, consistency. Cars always need oil changes, even as electric vehicles grow. Valvoline has also expanded into quick lube franchises and international markets. As of May 30th, 2025, Valvoline trades at $34.22 per share, with a 1.8% dividend yield and a market cap of $5.7 billion. Sometimes the best investments are the least exciting. Steady and boring can be beautiful. She says, totally. There's something to be said for companies that just quietly do their job. We invest $1,000 in Valvoline. As we drive past rolling Kentucky hills, I explain that sometimes the best investments are the least exciting. Consistency and necessity can be more important than hype. Next, we pass through Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville isn't a Fortune 500 hub, but it's home to Smart Financial Incorporated, better known as Smart Bank. I say, here's an important concept. Regional banks. Smart Bank trades at $22.10 with a 2% dividend yield and a market cap of about $400 million. Regional banks are the backbone of local economies. They lend to small businesses, help families buy homes, and support community projects. She asks, so by investing in a regional bank, you're kind of investing in the whole community? I say, exactly. And here's another lesson. Smaller companies can sometimes grow faster than giants, but they can also be riskier. That's why we diversify, spread our investments around to reduce risk. We put $1,000 into Smart Financial. As we drive through Knoxville, I point out how banks like this sponsor local events, fund scholarships, and help neighborhoods thrive. Onward to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga is a city that's reinvented itself, from a manufacturing hub to a center for healthcare, logistics, and insurance. Our pick here is Unum Group, which specializes in disability, life, and supplemental insurance. I say, insurance may not sound glamorous, but it's a pillar of financial security for millions. Unum trades at $48.12, yields 3.3%, and has a market cap of $9.5 billion. Insurance companies make money by collecting premiums, investing the float, and carefully managing risk. It's a business that rewards discipline and long-term thinking. She asks, what's the float again? I explain, it's the money insurance companies hold between collecting premiums and paying claims. They invest that money to earn extra profits. We invest $1,000 in Unum. I remind my daughter that sometimes the best investments are the ones you hope you never need to use. Now we hit Atlanta, Georgia, a true business powerhouse. Atlanta is home to some of the world's most recognized brands, so we're spreading our bets here. First, Coca-Cola. Did you know Coca-Cola was invented in Atlanta in 1886 as a medicinal tonic? She says, I actually did know that, and now it's everywhere. I even saw Coke in Europe when I did my study abroad. I say, exactly. Coca-Cola trades at $61.88 with a 3.1% dividend yield and a $266 billion market cap. It's a classic example of a wide moat business, hard to disrupt, easy to recognize. Next, Equifax. You might know Equifax from its credit reports or the infamous data breach a few years ago. I say, Equifax is a leader in credit data and analytics, serving businesses and consumers worldwide. It trades at $263.75 with a 0.7% yield and a $32 billion market cap. Credit bureaus are essential for lending, renting, and even employment. They're a critical part of the financial infrastructure. Finally, Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, I say. ICE owns the New York Stock Exchange and operates exchanges and clearinghouses around the world. It trades at $139.85, yields 1.3%, and has a $78 billion market cap. ICE is a behind-the-scenes giant of finance, making sure trades happen smoothly and markets stay liquid. Sometimes the most important businesses are the ones you never see. She says, "So, Atlanta is like the business capital of the South?" I reply, "Absolutely." And here's another investing concept: sector diversification. By picking companies in different industries, drinks, data, finance, we reduce the risk that one bad year ruins our whole portfolio. We invest $1,000 each in Coca-Cola, Equifax, and ICE. Atlanta's got diversification covered. As we drive through the city, I share stories about how Atlanta's business community has shaped everything from soft drinks to stock markets. Next up, Calhoun, Georgia. It's a smaller city, but it punches above its weight in the flooring industry. Mohawk Industries is headquartered here. I say, Mohawk makes carpet, tile, and flooring sold all over the world. The company trades at $100.12 per share, does not currently pay a dividend, and has a market cap of $6.3 billion. Here's a lesson. Not all good companies pay dividends. Some reinvest profits to grow faster. She asks, "So, if I want income, I look for dividends. If I want growth, I look for companies like Mohawk?" I say, "Exactly. And you can mix both in your portfolio. We invest $1,000 in Mohawk. Sometimes you invest in growth, not just income." As we drive through Macon, Georgia, we're reminded that not every city is a corporate powerhouse. There are no major publicly traded companies headquartered here. I say, this is part of the investing lesson. Not every place is a gold mine, and sometimes the best move is to wait for the next opportunity. It's also a chance to appreciate the local culture, history, and the small businesses that make up the backbone of these communities. Gainesville, Florida is another college town with a vibrant atmosphere, thanks to the University of Florida. But like Macon, there are no major public companies headquartered here. I say, economic geography matters. Some cities are magnets for big corporations, others are centers of education, healthcare, or innovation, in ways that don't always translate to public markets. She asks, "So, sometimes you just enjoy the view and move on?" I say, exactly. Investing is about patience as much as action. Finally, we approach Orlando, Florida, our last major city before Disney World. Here we invest $1,000 in Darden Restaurants. I say, Darden owns Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, and several other popular chains. As of May 30th, 2025, Darden trades at $151.23, yields 3.4%, and has a market cap of $18.5 billion. Restaurants are a tough business, but Darden has thrived by focusing on value, consistency, and smart expansion. Here's a fun fact. Olive Garden serves enough breadsticks each year to circle the globe 3 times. She laughs. That's actually hilarious. And now I want breadsticks. I say, and a lot of happy customers. Consumer habits, food trends, and even weather can impact restaurant stocks. It's a reminder that every business has its own risks. As we finally arrive at Disney World, my daughter is buzzing with excitement and maybe a little nervousness about starting her Disney College program adventure. I say, while Disney itself is headquartered in California, it's only fitting to mention that Disney World is the ultimate symbol of American business and imagination. If you ever want to invest in the magic, Disney, ticker DIS, is always an option. Though not a Florida company, it's the heart of our journey's end. Let's recap our road trip portfolio. Cincinnati, Kroger, and Proctor Gamble. Lexington, Valvoline. Knoxville, Smart Financial. Chattanooga, Unum. Atlanta, Coca-Cola, Equifax, Intercontinental Exchange. Calhoun, Mohawk Industries. Orlando, Darden Restaurants. Some cities had multiple options, Others had none. That's the reality of investing in local economies. I ask, so, what did you think? She says, honestly, it's cool seeing how all these companies are tied to places we pass. And I like the idea of dividends, getting paid just for owning something. I might actually try this with my own money. I say, that's the beauty of investing. It's not just about money. It's about understanding the world around you and building a future. Key takeaways. Big cities often mean big companies and more choices. Some stops are all about steady dividends, others about growth. Not every city has a public company. Sometimes the best investment is just enjoying the ride and learning along the way. So which city's stock will outperform? Only time will tell. But the real value is in the journey, learning how America's business landscape shapes our opportunities, and sharing a once-in-a-lifetime adventure with my daughter before she starts her next chapter at Disney. Thanks for joining us on this ultimate stock market road trip. Safe travels, happy investing, and wish her luck at Disney.